Oh, welcome back to the Fifth Quarter Podcast. I'm your host, Caden Aguiar, bringing you episodes every single Friday. I'm back with Mike once again. Mike, say hi in the camera.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Pretty good. And trade deadline is here. All sports is in full effect now with college basketball back. NFL, NBA, college basketball, college football. Lots to talk about today. Sauce Gardner traded. Quentin Williams traded. Lots of moves made by the Jets today. John Morant situation, what's up with him? Early MVP talks and more on the Fifth Quarter Podcast. So, with my famous words, let's fade this out here. What an awesome beat again. So let's start off here. NFL trade deadline is in the books. Once again, Sauce Gardner traded to the Colts. Quentin Williams traded to the Cowboys. Logan Wilson also to the Cowboys. Rashid Shaheed to the Seahawks. Jags go and get Jacoby Myers and more trades to talk about here on the Fifth Quarter Podcast. So let's go and grade every single move made at the trade deadline. Let's start with the Colts. Traded for Sauce Gardner here. I'm going to give the Colts an A- grade on this trade and give the Jets a B+ on this trade. I could see the trade working out very well for both sides. And, for the Colts, they have Charvarius Ward. He's out right now on IR, and they need a corner to fill in and really give them muster a couple more wins in there. And then when he comes back, when Charvarius Ward comes back, watch out for that cornerback duo, as they're going to be pretty dangerous coming in because, Sauce Gardner and Charvarius Ward just a couple years ago were two of the best corners in the league, in my opinion. And now that they're teamed up, it's going to be dangerous on the 7-2 Colts team. Mike, what do you think about this for the Colts right here, and what grade would you give them?
I would give the Colts in the B's a B or B+. I don't believe Sauce Gardner was worth 2 first-round picks, even though it could work out, and like you said, 2 elite corners coming back into it. It could redo something for them. It could give the Colts another hope on defense, even though they are looking great. But two real good corners coming back in next year, who knows what that could lead for them, you know?
Yeah, this is definitely a big home run swing, if you would call it, for the Colts, because they can really go and get Charvarius Ward and Sauce Gardner back, and it's like a no-fly zone, and they could go and win the Super Bowl. They think that they can go all in right now because the Chiefs, they're not as good as they once were, and the AFC is wide open right now. The Colts, the only teams that are really standing in the way of them are the Bills, and they're good, but they're not fantastic in my opinion. The Patriots are rolling, but I think if they play a team like the Colts, that would be an uphill battle for the Patriots. And I think the Broncos are probably the only team where I say that they can be a huge problem for the Colts. But even with them, they're only a one-half football team right now, as we can see, especially on Sunday against the Texans. We didn't really see them play their brand of basketball up until the final quarter of the game, where they squeaked out a win barely, and that's what they've been relying on all season, and that's what Bo Nix has been doing all season. So when I look at this Colts team, I say, man, this is a swing right here. This is a big swing, and if they hit on this one, I think that they could really add a Super Bowl to their franchise.
I could say the same thing, and like you said, the Broncos, they're really a second-half team.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was against Davis Mills. CJ Stroud out. Yep. It was 18-15 in the end, but if you really want to compete, you got to start playing in the first and second quarters.
Yeah.
And their defense is somewhat elite, but the offense and Bo Nix has to really get hot early in the game.
Right. Let's talk about the Jets in this situation. I give him a B+ because, yes, you got 2 first-round picks, but in my opinion, it's like, who's making those picks? Who, also, I want to, mention this. I think if the Colts make it deep in the playoffs, that pick's going to be probably a 28th round selection to a 32 round selection. I think they have one first round pick in 2026 and one in 2027. So yeah, you got picks, but who's drafted? What are the Jets management looking for in these draft picks? You have to go and draft very good players, because you just traded away a very good player in Sauce Gardner. He was an All-Pro despite his dip in production. right?
And I feel like the players in this draft aren't what they're looking for
This
either.
draft class looks weak. I don't like the quarterbacks in this draft. So I think that, a kid like Fernando Mendoza, he's a great player right now. I think he's well on his way to winning a national championship, but I don't know how that success is going to translate into the NFL and
exactly
if he's going to be even successful in the NFL. They get 2 first rounders, and with this draft class is not as good. I don't expect them to draft their QB of the future with this draft class. And like I said, I like the Mendoza kid, but he's a solid QB at best right now, and I think it would be a classic Jets move to select Mendoza as your future QB. So I like the fact that you have draft capital, but you have to make those picks worth it and draft great players with those picks. Let reality set in, and Sauce Gardner, despite his recent dip in performance, he was an all-pro corner last year. And the year before that.
And what? It's his 3rd or 4th year?
I think his 4th year. Yeah. 2022 is when he was selected. He is a very good player. So now the Jets management, their job is to go out and select 2 very good players with those picks. Boy, I feel bad for the Jets fans, man. I feel bad for the Jets fans. It seems like there's an ongoing cycle with this team. You build a foundation on your team, you get some supporting pieces to help that foundation, and then it all falls down because they can't put it together. But then the cycle repeats and repeats, and if I'm a Jets fan, I say I don't want to give us, I don't want to say to my friend because, he's dogging on me because I'm a Jets fan. I don't want to say give us 3 years. I've been saying that for the past 20.
I mean, I can't really talk to as a Browns fan, but
yeah,
right now for the Jets, I would say that's a pretty deep hole they can dig themselves in.
Yeah, it's hard. And so let's see what this draft capital, what they can get with it. On to the other Jets trade here. Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys. The Cowboys get a B+ on this move, and the Jets get a B on this move. The Cowboys go and get a disruptive interior defender in Quinnen Williams, and I expect the Cowboys to use Quinnen Williams to be more like a pass rusher in this role in the Cowboys, more than a run stopper. If we take a look at Quinnen Williams' his first few seasons, and really highlighting his 2022 season, he had 12 sacks in that season. And he's averaging about 7 sacks a season throughout his career up to this point. I think that this move is so brilliant, and I don't think Cowboys fans, I think that Cowboys fans are going to take it too far, and they're going to say, oh, we're going to make it to the NFC Championship now. That's not what's going to happen when you get Quinnen Williams.
I feel like they already are, too. But also, why do you do this when you had Micah Parsons?
Yeah.
And you trade away Micah Parsons.
When you have Micah Parsons and you go trade away Micah Parsons, and I think Jerry Jones is really facing a lot of backlash from it, and now he's starting to sit there and go, well, man, maybe I shouldn't have done that move. Maybe that wasn't the right move.
I'm honestly surprised they even made moves. They usually don't.
Yeah. I didn't really understand the Micah Parsons move. You have to handle Micah Parsons accordingly. Just like Myles Garrett on the Browns. You have to manage him accordingly. And if you don't manage him accordingly, he's like a little kid. He's gonna be mad, and he's gonna want to be traded. So you have to manage Micah Parsons effectively.
And that is one thing. He didn't get the money he wanted. Myles did, but he also requested a trade. He didn't act like a child and sit back and be quiet and not play.
Well, I was talking about this last week, especially with Myles Garrett. If I'm Myles Garrett, I feel bad for Myles Garrett. I do. And I understand you're a Browns fan. Yeah. But I feel bad for Myles Garrett because he's going to have to spend the rest of his prime on a Browns team that doesn't really have a direction right now, or they don't really have much to work off of.
And I would say the defense is elite. Everywhere around him is elite. But the offense can't really do anything. That's the main issue. But he did choose the money. He chose the bag
he chose the money over, hey, let me contend for a team and let me win a Super Bowl, hopefully.
But I mean, in other sense, you can also respect that. You could say his home is Cleveland. His family is there, I'm assuming, and you could say that he's just a Cleveland Brown for life.
I mean, when he got 5 sacks 2 weeks ago, I mean, you could just tell he was mad because they lost by so much.
And they also why would you take him out of the game? If a player wants to play, why do you take him out?
Right. I don't understand. He
especially in that such a dominant situation, 5 sacks. He probably would have had 6.
Yeah. But anyways, back to Quinn Williams here. I think that this move is brilliant. Now, I think Cowboys fans are thinking that they're going to go to the NFC Championship with this move, and that's definitely, that's not the case in this situation. That's not the case, but it's a step in the right direction for them for sure. My biggest thing about the Cowboys is, can they go and stop any receiver right now? They played Deron Bland. They paid Trayvon Diggs. And now they're over here getting burnt left and right. If the Cowboys secondary can even be competent, the Cowboys will compete for a playoff spot come January.
I also feel like both of those cornerbacks play the ball more than they play the man.
They do. I remember a couple years ago, and Trayvon Diggs has done way better about this, and he's been injured, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt this year. But I remember a couple years ago when Trayvon Diggs had all those picks, and then the year after that,
gave him 1,000 plus
exactly.
yards.
And you can't do that as a corner, especially as your number one corner. You can't be a ball hawk corner in this league. You have to be a lockdown corner to really get appreciated. Darrelle Revis was appreciated because it was Revis Island. Nobody got past him. We're seeing it right now with Patrick Surtain. Nobody is going to get past Patrick Surtain. That's why he won Defensive Player of the Year last year. So when you look at Trayvon Diggs, you're getting all these picks, and it's great. You're turning over the football, but you're also giving up a bunch of yards and a bunch of touchdowns. Yeah. So that's the trade-off you take as a Cowboys fan right now. And I think if this secondary can really hone in and lock in, and on defense, it's really like a chain when it's defense, because you have to get to the quarterback to make him under pressure and throw a ball where that's not really a good football. But when you don't have a Micah Parsons out there, the quarterback's like, well, I could sit back here for 3-4 seconds and really go through my progressions and then throw the ball. That's not how you win games. So I think Quinn Williams can really fit on this team and become a dominant pass rusher once again, and get out of that run stopping role that he was in at the Jets and start to put it together. As far as the Jets go in this trade, again, you get even more draft capital with a second round and a first round pick. But again, you trade a very good player, so now it's the pressure on the Jets management to go out and draft 2 very good players with the picks that they've acquired. Mike, what would you grade the Quinn Williams trade? What would you grade it for both teams here?
Definitely for the Jets, I would definitely rate it or grade it lower, and maybe a C+, B-, just because you can build around those type of players. And for the Cowboys, I feel like it's up there. It could be a B+, A- in that sense, because like you said, great pass rusher, and like they'll use him more for pass rushing rather than run stopping. And it's another thing with, you don't have Micah Parsons anymore, so your defense really could have a big hole in it, and you're trying to fill that in. So I see the vision, but it's Jerry Jones still.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Quinn Williams that I didn't say, is that Quinn Williams has 3 years left on his contract. I looked it up. He has 3 years left on his contract, and he's 27 years old right now. So he's still developing into a fantastic player. He's been All-Pro a couple times, but the Cowboys really have 3 years to keep this guy on their team and say, hey, can we build around him to create a dominant defense in the next 3 years? So you don't really have to win the Super Bowl this year, but if you can be a playoff hopeful and make a playoff game and then see what you can do in the playoffs, that's where the Cowboys can go from here. On to the second Cowboys trade. They go and trade for Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson, he was the only thing that was really going for the Bengals on this defensive side. Him, Trey Hendrickson, and that's probably about it. And, the Bengals, they go and they trade Logan Wilson, and I don't know how I really feel about that, man. I don't know.
I do like this trade, not for the Bengals.
No.
AFC as well. They can just stay there.
Yeah.
But I like this for the Cowboys. Logan Wilson would be a good pickup at linebacker too. He can rush. He can rush the QB. He can stop the run, and he can play in coverage. He can get picks when needed. He can get swats when needed. Like, he's a really good defensive player.
Yeah.
but will he fit into the Cowboys scheme?
Right. Yeah, so the Cowboys got Logan Wilson, and in return, the Bengals got a 7th-round pick. I give the Cowboys a B on this move, and the Bengals a C- on this move.
Oh, I didn't know it was a 7th round.
Yeah, it was a 7th round.
I feel like that's kind of a steal.
That is a steal. If I'm the Bengals, what are we doing? Logan Wilson was one of the only people worth anything on that defense, and you give it up for a single 7th-round pick. I don't know about the Bengals. They just gave up 40-plus points to the Bears. And you go and make a trade like that after? If I'm the Cowboys, again, it's another step in the right direction. Yes, you're getting rid of picks, but, Logan Wilson can elevate this linebacker group, and Logan Wilson with DeMario and Overshown can be very dangerous, in my opinion. This linebacker group can elevate, and Quinn Williams and Logan Wilson added to that defense really adds a couple of dogs on that defense that can really lift them up.
Overshown has been a dog for a while.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he went to Ohio State.
I don't know where he went. You keep talking. I'll look that up real quick.
But I really like him I liked him along with Micah Parsons, but I really agree with you. I feel like this could be an elite type defense. I don't know. I feel like it could develop in the future, and I don't know. I like this. I like these picks. I like the way they're thinking.
Yeah.
But you never know. Their scheme could be complete opposite of what they're used to, and they don't like it and they don't fit in. But
yeah.
We'll see when it goes on.
DeMario and Overshown is from the University of Texas.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My friend's a Cowboys fan, and we were talking about that. I just forgot. It's Texas.
Yeah. On to the Seahawks here. Trading for Rashid Shaheed. I give the Seahawks an A grade on this trade, and I give the Saints a B+ on this trade. The Seahawks are really taking a swing to get the player that they need to complete this puzzle and really add a deep threat element to this already explosive Seahawks offense. For the Saints, they're getting more draft capital, and I respect that. The Saints are not bad drafters at all, and they could get value with these 4th and 5th round picks. What do you think?
I really like that trade. I really like
both sides.
Yeah, I really like both sides. I think Shaheed will easily fit into the scheme of the Seahawks with the way Sam Darnold's throwing the ball and the way they're getting the ball. You're gonna have to start doubling Jackson Smith soon,
right?
JSN soon. Right. So someone's gonna be open, and you have Rashid, who clearly carried more offensively on the Saints.
Well, for me, let's not forget. The Seahawks also have Cooper Kupp and Torrey Horton.
That is true. Torrey Horton is really popping
He's really
off.
good.
Cooper Kupp is another as his slot.
Reliable.
He's reliable slot. So I feel like it's just all there, know. And then adding Shaheed is just honestly making it way better.
Right. The Jaguars. They go and trade for Jacoby Myers. I give the Jags a B- on this trade, and I give the Raiders an A on this trade. For the Jags, you get a confident receiver in Jacoby Myers, and that's something that hasn't been evident in that room all year long. Brian Thomas looks lost. De'Ami Brown's looking okay. Travis Hunter is on IR, and Parker Washington's more of a switchblade player, in my opinion. So getting a guy like Jacoby Myers can give Trevor somebody that is competent as of right now and somebody with a lot of confidence going into it. The Raiders get 2 picks for Myers, who wanted out of the Raiders, and they get solid value for him. So
I was gonna say he wants out of there. Maybe he starts playing way better.
Right.
And especially, Trevor Lawrence, he gets hit a lot. He's not inconsistent, but he's not fully consistently good.
Yeah. He has a turnover issue.
Yeah.
He has a huge turnover issue.
I feel like it could be something, but with Brian Thomas not doing as good, I think he's gonna get traded next year.
Really?
In the offseason.
I don't think the Jags should go and trade Brian Thomas. I think he's a great wide receiver. There has been, I have thought this through about, hey, do the Jags, I know they gave this big contract to Trevor Lawrence, but he hasn't exactly looked like a superstar. You have a great defense. You have a great running back. You have a great receiver, and your offensive line is not horrible. Trevor Lawrence, what's up, man? What's up with you?
I don't know. It's really weird. He's obviously a great college quarterback. He went off, comes into the league. He looked all right his first few years, and he's still really young. But could it be the
He's got a case of the Jameis Winston.
That's what I was going to say. Could it be his own mindset, or could it be the coaching around him? Who knows? But it's got to turn around.
Yeah.
It's really got to turn around.
Some other trades that were made, Jair Alexander to the Eagles, as well as Jalen Phillips to the Eagles. Chargers get Trevor Penning, and Kyle Duggar goes to the Steelers. That's it for trade deadline moves. And let's transition into an awkward, weird situation that I have no idea what is going on here. But let's talk about the Kyler Murray and Jacoby Brissett saga. So apparently Kyler Murray, as of yesterday, has been placed on IR, but Arizona head coach Jonathan Gannon, after Monday's win against the Cowboys, said that Kyler is their starting QB. So here's the thing about the situation. Brissett played good against the Cowboys, and he is the temporary fix that the Cardinals need right now to at least win games right now. But Kyler is hurt, and then he's not hurt, and then he plays, and then he's our starter, and he's not our starter for 4 weeks. It's just a weird situation. And it seems like Gannon is just trying to keep his job right now and squeak out some wins so that he can be the coach of the Arizona Cardinals next year. If I'm the Cardinals, I stand on what I believe in, and I say, hey, Kyler, go sit down. We'll pay you if you sit down. Brissett looks good right now, but Kyler is not the future of this team. Reality check is that both of these QBs will not be starting for the Cardinals next year, and will be somewhere, the Cardinals QB will be somebody completely different next year, in my opinion.
I 100% agree with that.
And so, hold on, Cardinals fans. Ride the Jacoby Brissett train while you can right now, because who knows who's going to be your QB next year. Situation is...
I also feel like Jacoby is just a backup QB. He can't be the starter. He's good for a few games, then it turns into a Jameis Winston situation.
I will say this, though. And Monday night, Marvin Harrison, I didn't get to watch the Monday night game because of the ESPN, all that fun stuff going on.
The
disputes between money. That's mind-boggling to me, too.
It was between money, right? Okay.
It's between money,
okay.
yeah. But
that's what I figured.
Apparently Marvin Harrison looked the best that he did all year.
Oh, he went off. He
had
to run Bland on the ground on a slant route to get a touchdown.
I saw that. But if Marvin Harrison is playing good right now and the Cardinals are getting wings right now, I don't blame Jonathan Gannon for saying, hey, let's ride Jacoby Brissett right now. Let's do it.
Well, the weird thing to me is I saw on ESPN saying Jacoby was the starter before it even said Kyler was on IR. So that's what I really don't get. I feel like there is something going on there. And you're right. Neither of them are starting next year.
Yeah, it'll be something completely different. I would go in the direction as maybe they go and trade up. And in my opinion, I like the Mendoza kid, but in my opinion, I really like, and he didn't look good against Florida State, but I like Ty Simpson.
I really do like Ty Simpson.
I think he's starting to look very good.
Solid,
I think Ty
consistent
Simpson,
QB.
He looks like an NFL QB.
Yes,
that could be successful.
100%.
So, we'll see where he goes, but Arizona is definitely going to have a change at QB next year, to say the least. On to the Bengals-Bears game here. I don't even know what to say about this game. Before the game even started, I said that this game would be high scoring, and it was. But the Bengals lost this game right here, and let me tell you the situation that they were in here. 1st and 10. Bears side of their 40 with 25 seconds left. No timeouts to use for the Bears. This is the call that was made when the Bengals, for the Bengals to lose this game. Let me pull it up here. Just listen.
Or the clock is running. Williams slings it. Williams, Loveland bangs off his man. He's gonna score. Home. Colston Loveland. In a jaw-dropper.
So, Colston Loveland wins the game for the Chicago Bears to go up 47-42. Mind you, no timeouts, 25 seconds left. Bears are on their own side of the 40 here. And if I'm the Bengals, right, I'm sitting at 8-8 at the end of the season, right?
No, and you have the players to do this.
Yeah.
You have the players. You just didn't tackle, and like you said,
Jordan Battle on that tackle. He didn't wrap up. He didn't take him down.
And clearly you might not go somewhere this season with Joe Burrow out the start of what was it, 8 games already, or 6 games, 6 to 8 games or whatever,
Yeah.
6 to 8 weeks. What are you doing in that situation? If I'm the defensive coordinator there, I'm putting my guys on the outside so they don't get out of bounds. Put someone over the middle, but back up, play it deep.
Here's a problem though. If we see on that play, Jordan Battle was way deep. Colson Loveland catches the ball. Jordan Battle, he goes up, and all you have to do is make the tackle. He was already deep. They played it perfectly up until the tackle. They played it perfectly.
This is a little bit off topic, but I feel like it's the same thing with Florida State. They go for big hits. They go for shoulder-to-shoulder hits to knock someone up.
Wrap up and tackle.
Yeah, they don't tackle. Wrap
Right.
up, wrap your arms around him, take him to the ground. The game's over right then and there.
Right. Yeah. So, and I'm going to give them, kudos to the Bears. What a heck of a throw that was by Caleb Williams and Colson Loveland to break the tackle and run like that. I look at the Bengals with these past 2 weeks, and I said last week, come playoff time for the Bengals when they're sitting at 8-8, and you look at these 2 losses on record, and these are 2 games you cannot lose. That's a difference between 10-6 and 8-8. A bad Bengals defense is haunting this team right now. I mean, Joe Flacco threw for 470 yards. If you told me before the game on Sunday that Joe Flacco is going to throw for 470 yards, I would respond with, okay, the Bengals will take care of business at home. Nope. How about the Bears though? They improved to 5-3 on the season, and they look good right now offensively. What do we think about the Bears right now?
That's what I was going to say. I would honestly rather support the Bears than the Bengals, and just because of the way they're looking. Obviously, Bengals have a big controversy coming up. Do you bench Joe Flacco, who is doing really good, for Joe Burrow that comes back?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Do you really do that when he's so hot with this offense and he knows what he's doing? Obviously, Joe Burrow knows, and he's really hot with the offense as well. But do you do that? It's really not an offensive thing. It's really the defense.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is gonna. When Joe Burrow comes back, I think they want him to be 115%. So I don't think he's even going to play before he. I don't think Joe Burrow is going to play one snap in the regular season. I think they're going to say, hey, you know what? Can Joe Flacco bring us to the playoffs? If he brings us to the playoffs, then, we'll prepare. We'll start making you throw, Joe Burrow. We'll start making you throw. I want Joe Flacco to bring us to the playoffs right now. And, right now, the way Joe Flacco's playing, he's playing fantastic football. 39 points against the Jets and then 42 here against the Bears. These are 2 fantastic games by Joe Burrow on display, and they're getting robbed by this horrible defense. I said in episode 1 of my podcast that the Bengals put $2 into their defense, and that's going to be the problem with them all season long, is that they're not going to be able to stop anybody on offense. And now we're on week 10 of the season, and they're sitting at a 3-6 record, and it's a wide open AFC North right now.
Yeah. And I love that game. That game was sick, but in all seriousness, it's AFC North. I could care less about the Bengals.
Yeah. On to J.J. McCarthy. He came back from injury, and, was I impressed by the game he played. Now, he didn't line up the stat sheet, but, some of the throws that, I saw him make, I was super impressed by, and he found a way to win the game against a great Lions team.
Didn't he had 2 TDs in the air and 1 on the ground?
Yeah, and then he had one interception, but here's the thing about JJ McCarthy. He reminds me of Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts type of QB. He just wins with the team that's around him, and he always competes. JJ McCarthy is going to work out in Minnesota, in my opinion, and Kevin O'Connell coaching McCarthy, he'll be fine. J.J. McCarthy will be fine in the long run, and I think that J.J. McCarthy is still developing, and he's winning football games right now.
I also feel like he may have had some realization after his injury that, I'm on a professional football team, and maybe I do need to step it up.
Right.
and start completing passes, or at least getting the ball down the field.
Right.
And scoring touchdowns.
Well, I think the realization was, oh wait, let's see the wide receiver depth chart. And I think Jason McCarthy did this. Let's see. Who's on my wide? Oh, I have the best receiver in the
Justin
league.
Jefferson,
I have
Naylor,
I have
Jordan Addison.
I have T.J. Hawkinson at tight end.
T.J. Hawk.
He needs to start. He started realizing that, hey, I have these weapons. If I could just get them the ball, let them go to work, man. Let them go to work. And that really showed this game. And kudos to J.J. McCarthy being a Lions team that I didn't even think they had a chance of beating.
And
he goes in and stays undefeated.
And that was a really big upset. I like that. I like that awesome. For the Vikings.
J.J. McCarthy, man, he's going to be up and coming. I don't think he's the most talented of QBs, but he wins. That's what he's going to do. He's going to win every time. The Seattle Seahawks embarrassed the Commanders on national television. Jaden Daniels is out for a while, to say the least. Bills take care of business against the Chiefs. Jaguars win in overtime against the Raiders. 49ers beat the Giants in MetLife. Did you hear Jackson Dart? He said it felt like an away game.
Yeah,
because the 49ers fans, they traveled far for that game.
And that was like such a dominant game, and you never know. The fans could really be obviously they're a big impact, but in away games they could be really big for the team's wins.
Right.
And honestly, it was just pure domination with Mac Jones being Mac Jones in San Francisco.
Mac Jones being 2025 Mac Jones. This is the year for him, I guess. I don't know.
I think he fits the Niners scheme. Yeah, he does. He just really does.
He does. Chargers squeak out a dangerous game against the Titans, but man, Cam Ward was starting to put it together that game.
I was really scared.
Yeah,
because I really thought the Chargers were going to blow them out.
Yeah, me too. Patriots beat the Falcons. After the Falcons missed an extra point, they actually ended up releasing Parker Romo, who they took after releasing Younghoe Koo, and I think Younghoe Koo is a top 3 kicker in the league. So, for me, it's like karma.
I'm pretty sure he's on the Giants practice
I think
squad.
he is, too.
Yeah.
And he needs to start somewhere ASAP.
I really don't get why they cut. It was one missed kick.
One missed kick against the Bucs, week 1.
Yeah.
One missed kick, and that was it. Steelers stunned the Colts. Danny Dimes had 4 turnovers. Broncos put it together late against the Texans to win. Rams beat down on the Saints, and the Panthers get a game-winning field goal against the Packers. Rico Dowdle looking unstoppable right now.
Yeah, and in that sense, I feel like there should be no split reps. I feel like he should just get the ball.
They gave him full reps in that game against the Packers, and he showed out. Yeah. Jets make a fire sale at the trade deadline. That's the biggest news as far as the NFL goes. They acquire 3 first-round picks and a second-rounder in hopes to draft great players in the next couple drafts. We're going to take a quick break here. It's a Fifth Quarter Podcast. Thank you for listening. We'll be right back. All right, we're back with the Fifth Quarter Podcast. I'm your host, Caden Aguiar, joined again by Mike. We're back, and we're in our NBA section now. So, let's first talk about the Ja Morant situation. And this is when asked if he enjoys playing basketball right now. We knew that he got suspended one game for what was it? Disobeying the team's conduct? Was that it?
Yeah, and talking back to reporters and coaches. Yeah, so this is one of the clips of Ja Morant, courtesy of ESPN, giving us this question here. Let's roll the clip here.
You feel like you get the same joy right now that we used to seeing from you?
No.
Why not?
What can be done to get it back?
We'll see.
So we got Ja Morant here saying, I'm not enjoying playing the game right now. What? Why? I don't understand. I think John Morant is not a very mature player at all. We saw that he got suspended for disobeying team conduct, talking back in post-game interviews and such. He's had a immature pass as well,
I don't think he sees what he has.
Yeah.
They try to build a team around him.
His issues off the court are really concerning. And I don't think John Morant really wants to be in a Grizzlies uniform anymore. So we're going to take our bets here. Where do we think that John Morant is going to end up by the end of the season? What's your take here?
I originally, because we talked about this off the podcast, I was going to say Orlando, but honestly, I really like your take with the Pacers.
Yeah, dude, man, if he went to the Pacers, I think that he would really get, Pascal Siakam. He's an older player, and he can really tell him, hey, dude, like, everything is good. Like,
and he's been in those situations.
Right.
He's been to the playoffs. He's been in a recent championship.
He's a seasoned veteran, and when your best player on the Grizzlies is a player like John Morant, there's nobody on that team that's going to be able to tell him no. There's no veterans on that team. They're a young team. He's one of the older players on the team. So there's nobody really watching over him, telling him, oh, let's, don't do this, man. Don't do that. Off the court issues is his problem. And I think if he went to the Pacers, he'd really find out, well, hey, this is pretty good. We're winning some basketball games again. I'm making the Pacers look good right now. And Pascal Siakam has somebody to get with. Now, with the Pacers, I don't know what the asking price would be for John Morant right now. If I'm the Grizzlies, I'm not going to expect much. Probably a player in the first round in the first round pick, and that's it.
I would say if that. I don't really.
I don't think there's that many teams. There's not that many teams that are going to be wanting him right now because of his off the court issues. So we'll see what happens with John Morant in this situation. But I just think it is interesting that they get a new coach, and now John Morant doesn't have a joy for basketball anymore. Must not like the new coach. So there's the John Morant situation. Let's talk about an early MVP discussion. Just off the dome here, Mike. Top three. Give me a top three as far as early MVP discussions go. You can go first, man.
I really hate to say it. Obviously, SGA, Shai Gilgeous. I'm putting Giannis in there, and I'm putting Wemby in there. I like those top three. They're putting up points. They're not role players, but they're more than role players.
But they do their role.
But they play their role, and they do what they're supposed to do, and they win the games for their teams. So
yeah.
What are you thinking?
If you ask me right now on who the MVP of the league would be, I would say Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Because you look at the offensive upside that he has right now, and he pulls off some moves that you watch in a basketball game, and you say, man, he's only 21 years old doing this, and he's 7'5", and he's still growing.
Controversial take. Controversial. Give me that height. I'm doing the same thing.
Wow. Whoa. Oh, Mike versus Wemby, one-on-one here. Woo, man. I don't know, man. Wemby pulls off some pretty good moves, dude.
No, he does have a bag.
He does have a bag.
And honestly, if you're that height, you're bound to go play basketball. So he's been
but
training since he was a little
not
kid.
the way he does.
No, that's true.
Manute Bol played basketball, and he was 7'7", and he couldn't even do a quarter of the things that Wemby does.
It is also different times, though.
It is.
You're taught to.
It is. You're
taught to play the ball and play with the Spurs. He's playing as a point guard sometimes. He brings the ball up court.
He's amazing right now, and he's the best defensive player in the league, regardless. I just don't see anybody keeping up with him as of right now.
I don't.
He looks great. He looks great. I would have to put my boy Jokic at 2.
Oh my God.
He went off. He went off last game. I don't think anybody is gonna have SGA winning the MVP right now.
I would reverse Giannis and put Jokic in. I said that earlier, and I just completely blanked on Jokic.
Jokic, I think, had 33, 15, and 10.
Yeah.
I think. And he has been firing on all cylinders like he always does. And if he comes away with the MVP again this year, it's a no-brainer.
Well, he's only had one game this year without a triple-double.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, he's playing insane basketball, and I think in that game he didn't even play, did he? Or no, he did, but Aaron Gordon went for 50.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Aaron Jokic just is shocking to me. And then third, oh man, who would I put at third? I think I would put Maxey at third. I like Luka. But Maxey's really, really hitting right now. And I like Maxey. He's one of my favorite players in the league. And, to see all the success that he's doing right now is just, it's happy for me to see. So I'm going to put Maxey at 3. I think that's a little biased, but I'll put Maxey at 3 for me.
I like that.
NBA Finals predictions. I think it's way too early to tell right now, but for the content, we'll do it. Right now, I got the Thunder going back right now because I feel like just based off of team basketball, they're the team with the most chemistry right now, and that's why they're 8-1.
The way they're playing, it's just, I hate to say it, but it is unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
They are a great team.
It is unstoppable. And they've been just playing great basketball again. And then we take a look on the other side, and it's a little bit different for me. We have the Bulls really competing right now. I think this is just early game or early season.
And exactly, you have the Pistons starting off 6-2.
Yeah, they're playing great.
I would love to see the Bucks go to the finals, too. But as a Cleveland fan, I would also love to see the Cavs go.
Yeah, the Cavs would be really good. I think give me the Thunder and the Cavs in the finals right now.
I was gonna say that exact same
Those are
thing.
two teams that have really faced adversity before. And we saw it last season, and we're going to see it this season again. Give me the Cavs and the Thunder right now in the NBA playoffs.
But if I'm choosing a team over the Thunder, I'm definitely choosing the Denver Nuggets.
Oh yeah, the Nuggets can go. Yeah, Nuggets, Thunder, and then Bulls, Cavs. Those are probably what I'm looking.
Just based off of right now.
Right now, and we're only.
Technically, I would say Cavs in the later season too.
Yeah, they're playing great basketball right now. So Russ got a triple-double yesterday. 23 points, 16 rebounds, 10 assists in a win against the Warriors without Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. And if we're gonna take a look at this clip here. He called himself the GOAT rebounding point guard ever. I didn't know you could be a GOAT point guard rebounder.
I honestly, I see it.
I mean, he is, but let's take a look here at what he was saying on this one.
And your career high in boards is 21. I mean, that's a while ago, but here's 16 tonight. Just what's kind of your secret in being able to kind of impact plays like that?
Oh man, humbly speaking, I'm the best rebounding guard ever.
Best rebounding guard ever. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know people really held him up to that standard, but he is the best rebounding point guard ever. And that was courtesy of Chaz NBA with that video, with that clip. But anyways, Russell Westbrook, he's been doing it for so long. He's such a great player, and for me to see him have this success with the Kings right now after bouncing around team to team on the Lakers, people calling him Westbrook and this and that, it really makes me mad. It does. I love Russell Westbrook. I've loved him since he's been in a Thunder uniform. He's a great player, and the Kings really have one with Russell Westbrook. And
have another vet.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah, Russell Westbrook is the GOAT rebounder as of right now. Russ got a triple-double. Called himself the GOAT rebounding point guard ever as of yesterday, and we agree with that take. Luka takes down Wembanyama and the Spurs. Double-double for Luka with 35 points and 13 assists. Is Luka prominent for an early MVP discussion? I know we just went through those, but do we think he's prominent in an MVP discussion right now?
I think he's in there, top 5 at least. He's almost averaging 40.
Yeah, he's averaging 40.
Exactly. And
shout out Stephen A. Smith, man.
And James Harden.
Yeah.
No one can really stop him. His 3-point shooting is insane. The only thing that I feel like would hold him back is the team, even though they're playing around him and they're playing great. And injuries. Only injuries would be the the real disturbance in that full MVP discussion.
Right. Yeah, I think he's going to be prominent in the MVP discussion later in the season. Yeah, but right now he's really playing great basketball, especially with Austin Reeves and LeBron James out right now. He really gave Wemby a game yesterday.
Well, and then you also have Austin Reeves going off when he comes back. I like this Lakers team.
Oh yeah, they're great.
I really do.
They're great. DeAndre Ayton. I was, I can't lie. I was talking trash about him last week, but he showed out one of those games, and
I didn't know he was so young.
He is very young. He's a very young player. So we'll see how this Lakers squad does later in the season. Donovan Mitchell. He's the reason why 45 is my favorite number. With 46 points and a big win against the 76ers. Nets get their first win of the season against Indiana. MPJ with 32 points and 11 rebounds. And Mike brought up this stat here. Michael Porter Jr. I'm going to say it one more time. Michael Porter Jr. is the leader in assists per game for the Brooklyn Nets. What do we do? How?
It's just insane.
How is that possible?
They built a team of isolation.
They did.
And
they did. Cam Thomas.
No one's passing the ball.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys on that team, and it's good that they picked up their first win, but they're not going to be a great team, man. Especially,
I do in that win though. A few guys have been stepping up a little bit.
Yeah.
And they are passing more. They're shooting better shots, and you see that with MPJ. That was 32 points. And
Houston rolls to 5-2 in a win against Memphis. Amen Thompson with 28 points and 10 rebounds. Portland hands OKC their first loss of the season, 121-119. Walker Kessler is out for season with a left shoulder labrum torn. Big blow for the Jazz. And then the Detroit Pistons win against the Jazz. Jalen Duren with 22 points and 22 rebounds. Nuggets beat the Heat 122-112. That is your recap of NBA scores from yesterday. And I just want to mention this. I don't know if you've heard of him or seen him, but Will Richards of the Golden State Warriors. I don't know if you've heard of him. I don't know if you've seen him, but Will Richards dropped a 30-piece yesterday.
I did see it.
He is phenomenal, and my buddy is a Golden State Warriors fan. And I was talking with him, and I said, this guy's going to be insane. He reminds me, and not just because he's wearing number 3, he reminds me of Jordan Poole, but a more mature version of Jordan Poole. And he is, when Steph Curry retires, I think he's going to take the helm of starting point guard on that team. I think he is phenomenal. Ever since he was in the Gators uniform, I said, man, this guy is going to, whatever team this guy goes to, he's going to be great and phenomenal on. And you can start seeing it right now that he's starting to really take initiative of his team with Steph Curry out.
I can see that, and especially dropping 30, that's a big accomplishment.
It is.
Get big
especially that early, especially that early in your career. It's really an accomplishment. So now on the college football there, reaction to AP poll. Do we want to pull up a photo of the AP poll here?
I'm honestly, I like what they're showing right now, and also Miami losing. I like that.
College football playoff bracket right now. Let me look this up here. If you want to read off the games there, and the recaps of the games.
You got first game I had to mention, by the way, and sorry to anyone that's a fan. Miami losing to SMU in overtime. What was it, 20-26? To me, it was at least great to see Miami lose again and get out of the ACC championship. But Carson Beck, again, 2 TDs but 2 interceptions. What do you think about that? What does that say for this whole team? SMU was a decent team going into the season. They were ranked. And but Miami, you got to take care of business in that one. You really got to put your foot down and say, no. And we got to win that game. It is great to see Miami lose again as an FSU fan, but the ACC, it feels like every team has that one loss in conference opponents, and it's just I don't know who's leading the Virginia. Is Virginia leading the ACC right now? Yeah,
that's insane. Virginia's playing great football, but man, I don't know what's up with the ACC right now. It's just, I don't know. I don't even know if an ACC team is going to get into the playoffs right now. I mean, I know I think as I'm looking at this AP poll right here, Georgia Tech is in it, but
And that was an upset. They just lost,
yeah,
too.
they did against NC State. Yeah. Number 18 Oklahoma being number 14 Tennessee 33-27. You were talking about the run game. They run this game as John Mateer really fell off after coming back from his injury so quickly. Tennessee QB Joey Aguilar with 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. It was really a back and forth game until Oklahoma took all the momentum in the fourth quarter.
And it was super close in the third as well. And I'm pretty sure it was at some point a 3-point difference. Then it was 33-20 and then 33-27, which the game was already over at that point. It was just gimme points. So Oklahoma they won that game full out, but John Mateer, I feel like they rushed him and that ruined their season, ruined him too.
Yeah, it did.
And their run game won that game for them.
Read these next ones for me, man. Give me the breakdown here.
You got Notre Dame beating Boston College 25-10. I personally feel like that should have been a higher scoring game.
Wasn't it a competitive game?
It was
for a while.
Yep, and once again, up until the third and fourth quarter, Notre Dame just pulled through. You also had Jeremiah Love with 17 carries, 136 yards, and 2 TDs.
Dark horse Heisman right now.
And
sure.
I also see him going in the first round in the NFL draft. He's had a great season.
Here's what I'll say. Hey, Jets, if you want to go get a great player, go draft Jeremiah Love and go get and go trade Breece Hall for a 3rd round pick. Thank me later. Thank me later.
I don't know how you feel about CJ Carr, but I like Notre Dame's
solid.
QB.
He's solid.
He's okay.
That. He's solid. I like him.
And that game was all right, but I feel like it should have been a way higher score for Notre Dame.
Yep.
Moving on, you have Ohio State. They're not stopping. Yeah. 38-14. I mean, Penn State is really done this year. You have Julian Sain, 316 yards. Bo Jackson, 105 yards on the ground. But then this wide receiver duo, Carnell Tate with 124 yards on just 5 receptions.
You love you some Carnell Tate, man.
And you gotta love some Jeremiah Smith with also 123 yards on 6 receptions. I really don't know. This could be one of the greatest wide receivers coming into the draft. 2 of the greatest wide receivers coming in.
Next year, Jeremiah Smith comes in.
Yeah, but Jeremiah Smith looks amazing.
He does.
He's young. He's physical. He has the brain for it.
He's the best player in college football.
And he knows what he's doing. I think his draft stock is insane right now. You have Indiana smoking Maryland.
No-brainer.
I don't really think there's much to say about this game besides the future of possibly Indiana versus Ohio State.
Yeah.
And that would be such a game. Such a good game.
Yeah.
Here we go. Georgia Bulldogs beating the Gators 24-20. Very close. Gators did have the lead going into the fourth, I'm pretty sure. But once again, they choke. The Bulldogs play to their team. They adapt in the game, and I feel like they do it every game. And call me controversial, but that was not a catch.
That was a catch.
It was not a catch. The ball hit the ground.
The ball did not hit the ground. There was a close-up photo. 2 days ago, I saw a close-up photo of the catch, and I saw it, and the ball did not hit the ground. The ball did not hit the ground. That was a catch.
Another point, though. It should have been a touchdown. He had no one on him for 10 yards at least.
Yeah.
He was wide open. You should have just thrown that ball into the end zone. He would have caught it. That would have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
So that's why I also see why they didn't overturn the play, because they called it incomplete at first. They don't have enough evidence
to overrule the call.
Yeah. And I see it. I see it as not a catch. Moving on, you have Ole Miss beating South Carolina 30-14. Once again, another close game through the whole game until it gets to the third and fourth quarter, which I mean it's just a sequence this year. I would say again the run game won this with I don't know how to say. I want to say Kawan Lacey.
Kawan Lacey, yeah.
Kawan Lacey won this game with 24 carries and 167 yards. Their Ole Miss passing game wasn't that hot. I forgot their QB's name, but he's
Ole Miss's QB?
Calais something.
Are you talking about Ole Miss's QB?
Yeah.
Let me see what. Ole Miss QB. I know who you're Austin Simmons.
Trinidad
Oh,
Chambliss.
Chambliss, yeah.
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 He's I respect him as a player, but that game was just not good at all. I didn't see any outstanding plays. I mean, there were a few yards downfield. Like he had 100 something yards, maybe 200, but it was not a passing game for them.
Right.
And moving on, like we said before, number 8 ranked Georgia Tech losing to North Carolina State. NC State fired up from the start. They scored 14 in the fourth quarter, holding Georgia Tech to 0.
Yeah.
Both QBs starting for over 330 yards and 2 TDs each. Jaden Scott, NC State running back, with nearly 200 yards on 24 carries. What an upset. What a game that was.
Yep.
And I do love the passing game, but I love seeing running backs run through blocks or run someone over and get 200 yards.
Yeah.
That's just, it's insane to me. Another big game, Utah's putting the stop to Cincinnati with a huge 45-14 win. I'm pretty sure Cincinnati was ranked 19th or 24th or something like that. They were close.
They were ranked low, yeah.
And I don't see why they were ranked. I mean, obviously you beat a few ranked teams, but that's some overrated.
They deserve the ranking, but then
But Utah wasn't ranked either.
But Utah was ranked.
Nah.
I thought Florida State was ranked.
But but they lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
You got ranked 23rd USC, only beating Nebraska by 4 points, 21-17.
Okay, Nebraska's a solid team.
They're a solid team. Is that Dylan Raiola?
Yeah.
But they're not. He's out for the season.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Only by 4 points.
4 points?
That's what I'm saying. I don't really see.
It's just this whole college football season has just been. I don't know. I don't know. Like
you don't know what to expect. Especially with this team right here, number 20 ranked Texas beating number 9 Vandy. I personally think Texas is overrated, but we'll get into that after.
Me too.
Both QBs go for over 300 yards in the air, and both with 3 TDs. Is it Diego Pavia? He is Diego Pavia, dog.
Yeah, I was talking about him last week, man. He's great.
Such a dog. He wants to fight for that team, but
yeah.
Arch Manning finally looking like a Manning out there, and that he just had a great game. No interceptions finally. It was a great game to watch. I thought it went to overtime, but it didn't. Texas is overrated. I don't see why they're ranked.
And here's the thing: the college football committee is going to say we want them in the playoffs.
No,
because that gives them views, that gives them money. So they're going to want them in the playoffs. They're going to advocate for, hey, we need them in the playoffs.
That's like the same thing. Like I won't watch an OKC game because of Shea Gilgeous.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird. I honestly think Vandy's a great team. They came back down 24-3. But they're just fighting. They're fighting to not be the little kid in the SEC anymore.
They are
anymore at least.
Yeah, they are.
Texas Tech smoking Kansas State kept a good lead mostly the whole game.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer.
Yeah, not much to say.
Yeah,
it's just pure domination.
Texas Tech is gonna compete defensively in the college football playoff. That's no doubt, in my opinion. I think Texas Tech is. They're a solid team. They can make a push if they play good defense. They could really make moves. I
do like the way they're ranking Texas Tech too. I'm pretty sure they were 14th. Then you have another overrated team in my opinion. Number 21 ranked Michigan, keeping it close with Purdue, but they won the game 21-16. And again, the rushing game won this game for Michigan. And what is your opinion on Bryce Underwood?
Bryce underwhelming?
Underwhelming. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
He's completely overrated in my book.
I saw an Instagram post a few weeks ago, and it's been going viral. It was a Twitter post, and it said, true freshman Bryce Underwood is expected to throw 10 passing touchdowns this season. This was a couple weeks ago. He expected to throw 10 passing touchdowns the whole season. All the comments, they said, Bryce underwhelming, and they said, this kid is believable. I do believe this kid.
He's completely overrated.
Just a bunch of memes, and he's overrated.
And I don't know how Michigan is ranked once again.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Bryce underwhelming, to say the least.
Yeah.
I have the college football playoff rankings here. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas Tech. Texas A&M.
I like the top 10. Besides maybe Notre Dame. I don't think Notre Dame should be up there.
Is Notre Dame worse than BYU? Is BYU better than Texas Tech, Oregon, and Notre Dame?
I don't think BYU has played anyone that good.
I think BYU should be number 11 right now.
Yeah, I like that. But I also don't like Texas being in the top 10. They're not top 10, but I believe they shouldn't move from anywhere.
Also,
this is updated, right?
Yeah.
Holy
This is
cow.
recent. This is just now. Is Virginia gonna be taken out of the? Are they gonna be taken out of the playoffs over Oklahoma?
I don't know. If they keep
You have
playing
to
the
give.
way they do, I feel like you do.
You do have to. Well, you have to give them a spot if they win their conference.
I also, you can see Louisville in there too with their upset against Miami. They're a big team destroyers. They like taking down big teams. They do. So
college football playoff right now for me this is a very rough draft of what the playoffs is gonna shape out like. I could firmly see Alabama, Georgia losing. Another game probably. There's going to be at least 5 of these teams are going to lose come the time of the playoff, and it's just going to look completely different. So that's a very rough look at the college football playoff right now. Dodgers win the World Series Game 7. I was watching it. I really don't know what to say.
I'm not really too fond of baseball.
Congrats on the Dodgers. The Dodgers did play a very good game though. And I watched a little bit of baseball, and you can just tell their pitching was great. Yamamoto, he was pitching great.
He went off. That's one thing I did see.
And the Dodgers went back to back, and now they're looking for 3.
I'm pretty sure that was the first time since 2000, since the year 2000.
First time in 25 years that a team has went and picked up two World Series back to back. So, anything else that you need to say, man?
No, I think that was all.
Man. And that's going to be it for the Fifth Quarter podcast today. I'm your host, Caden Aguiar, and this is Mike. If you want to say bye to the camera real quick.
I'll see you guys in the next one.
And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Episode 11 coming soon next week. Again on the Fifth Quarter podcast. And you guys have a great weekend.